Okay, viewers, we are back again with a continuation of the cloth animation, and this is going to be the part 2 of the series. Alright, first let me play the animation for you guys to see first before we continue what we're about to do for the day. I'll try as much as possible to be fast. Okay, just mute this thing. Okay, the second part, we are going to learn the cloth part. That's the beginning of this thing. It will be break into two. So up to this point. So this part will be the third series. Alright? Okay. Alright. Okay, so that's it. We can start with. First, let's get into the software. Let's get into Cinema 4D to start. So you open your Cinema 4D software. Okay. So this is our Cinema 4D software. Here is it. Alright. Okay. So once the software is open, you see that it's in 4:3. Instead of 16:9, alright, we have to set it to HD. So for that, we come to here underneath the menu bar. We select the render settings. Okay, we come to output, change the output settings from PAL to HD 1920 by 1080, and we close it. So now we have a wide view, okay, to work with. Alright. Okay. So from here, what we do next is to go to the menu bar. Under the menu bar is the toolbar. We come to the cube here. It has a cascading arrow underneath it. So we click on that particular arrow and select plane. Okay. With our plane selected, what we do next is increase the centimeters of the plane to something like 700 by 700. Alright, then maybe the width segment to 7, let me make it 250. Then the height segment to 2 to 30. Okay, so we have this. Alright, so at this moment, what we can see now is just a plane. A stiff plane, nothing happening to it. So we have to give it a flow, that kind of motion, you know, a clock motion. So we come to the toolbar here, and the bend icon here, like the same, a cascading arrow underneath it. We click it and select jiggle. We click on jiggle. We drop or click on the jiggle and place it inside the plane. In this case, the jiggle becomes a child to the plane. Okay, so now the plane is serving as the mother, whilst the jiggle is the child. Alright, let's make the okay, let's leave the jiggle for now. Then go and select turbulence. Alright, turbulence is where the flow will happen. So we go to, on the menu bar, you go to simulation. You go to simulation. On the menu bar, you click and select particle turbulence. Okay. So with turbulence selected, you click on jiggle again. Then you come to forces. On the jiggle attributes, you click on forces. Then you click and hold turbulence and drag it into the forces map of the jiggle. Okay. In this case, whatever action that's supposed to happen with the turbulence will take place inside the jiggle, whilst the jiggle applies that effect to the plane. Okay. So you do the settings on the turbulence. You click on the turbulence, you come to objects, you increase the strength to something like 100, then the scale to 100. Okay, then we have something like this. See the motion? Okay, let's leave the motion to this for now. All right. I think this grid is disturbing. Let me take the grid off. So to take the grid off, you just come to filter. Underneath the transformational toolbars here, you click filter, then you see the grid in there. Then you click it off. Okay. Now, what we need next is a spline, because we are going to animate our cloth along a spline path. Okay, so we are going to bring in a spline by clicking a spline icon here. Okay, let's use the helix. Okay. I think the helix is okay. The helix is okay, so let's go with the helix. So with the helix selected, what we do is two parts. So we are going to spread it. Okay, so we are going to increase the height to something like 8,000. So that to 8,200. You see, now it's open. First it was stuck, so by increasing the height, it has opened it, spread it. Alright. So what you do next is you rotate it. Okay. You rotate it to something like 180 degrees. 180 degrees, so that the end point will be facing the other way, whilst the starting point will be facing where our camera is going to be. Okay, so you have this. After this, what you do next is first to bring in a spline wrap. So the same thing, you come to the bend icon here, you drop down here, then select spline wrap. Okay, so you drop the spline wrap inside the plane too. Okay, alright. So now with the spline wrap selected, once again with the spline wrap selected, you click on its attributes objects. Alright, you see this empty spot here? Yeah, the empty spot. Okay. Yeah, I mean the empty spots here. Okay, this is where you drop your helix. So you click and hold the helix and drag it into here. In this case, it will move along, the spring will move along the helix. Alright? Okay. Let's increase the frame here. The number of frame here, let's make it 200 or 250. 250 is okay. Let me make it 250. Alright. So now we can set the offset. So the starting point is 0. You set a key there. You see the offset here. There's a stopwatch there, a dot there. You hold your control key, then you click on that particular dot to set an animation key here. Then you move your timeline to something like 145. Then let's place the timeline to, let's increase the offset to something like 80. Then we click on the offset, hold the control again, and click on the offset dots there to end the animation key point. So with that, we have something like this. You see? Because the plane is stretched here, that's why you see that plane has formed some kind of path with the spline. So in this case, you just have to reduce the limit of the plane here on the spline attributes here, we have strength, offsets, from, and to. The 2, you can reduce the 2 to something like 50%. Then you have something like this. See? Let me bring it here. Let me turn it this way so that you can see it properly. Okay. See? So you have something like this. Except I think it's too long. So let's reduce it more. Let me make it 30. Let's see, let's go back. Okay. The offsets now, the ending was something like 80. Let me just make it 100 so that we end it there. 100. And open it up a little. 200. So let's play it and see. So you have this animation. Okay. Alright. Now, if the flow or the motion within the cloth is not enough for you, all you have to do is just go to the turbulence, then increase it to something like 150. I think that will make the flow quite, yeah. So I'm not feeling it, so you can still increase it if you want. Something like 200. Okay. Let's leave it like this. So basically, this is how I set up my cloth animation. Okay. Now, let's set a camera for the beginning. Okay, let's go back. Let me position the beginning well. I hope I'm not moving too fast there. Okay. Let me just set up the beginning well. Let me just set it somewhere like this. Okay. Let me bring in a camera. To bring in a camera, just go to the tools here underneath the menu bar. You see the light icon here where my cursor is. Just click and hold. Then you see camera. Then you click on the camera. Then you open the eye. Okay. Now the camera is set for you to animate. So in the beginning 0, the timeline is 0. You set a key here by clicking the stop, the key icon here to set a key there. Then you play your head. Okay, when you reach somewhere like this, something like this, you zoom in. You zoom in. Zoom in. Then set a key there again. Then you play. Then you zoom in again. Okay. Zoom in again. Then set a key again. So far let's play what we have done. So you have this, the camera following the clock. Slowly. So now left with the last key points, which is to move the camera into the cloth. So the camera will just merge with the cloth for it to disappear, form something like a transition whereby it will transition into the next scene. Okay, something like this. Give you that cutting point. Alright, let me just end it here and set a key. So basically we have this. That's all. So where the cloth hits the face of the camera is where you cut. Is where your cutting point is going to be. Alright. So now let's create some materials and drop it. Some material and drop it onto the cloth. Just double click inside your material column here. It will basically create a new material, or come to file here, new material. Then you double click in. of the specular. Then on color, you go and select what kind of material do I have inside this thing? Okay, let me use this one. Let me open this one. Yeah. Let me change it to plain. Okay, so we have this. So you, after finishing, click and hold and drag it onto the plane. So now you have your material on the plane. For now, you won't see it unless you play it and before you see the effects. You see that? Now you see the effects. You see the creasiness within the cloth. If you find it still not enough, the creasing amount still not enough, you can still go ahead and increase the turbulence. Like I said, increase the turbulence. So you have this. You can add a bit of even smoothing to it. You just come to the pen icon here underneath the menu bar. You click and hold, then select smoothing. Okay. Then you click and hold and drag it underneath the spline wrap. So you have this. Smoothing it a little. Now we have our second part of the series. The next part will be the third part, which is the designing of the 89. Okay, let's throw a bit of light into this. So you come to the icon here, light icon here underneath the menu bar. Click on it. Then you come to array here, array icon here. You click it. You drop the light into the array by clicking and holding, then dropping it into the array whereby the light becomes attached to the array. Okay, so let's reduce the number of array here to something like 4 is okay. Then the radius something like 8,000. 8,000. So you have something like this. Let me see if it's too bright. I think it's too bright. Let me reduce the number of lights there. I think this is okay. So you have something like this. See that? Okay. So after this, you can throw a bit of is it ambient occlusion? Yeah. You come to settings. Then you come to effects. Apply ambient occlusion. Others might decide to throw a bit of this in might throw global illumination into it too. But I don't like to do more. I like to keep it simple so that my work will render fast. So I'll leave it at ambient occlusion. So now you have your cloth animation. Okay, it's as simple as that. See that? Alright. Now to render, just come to settings, come to output, you change the resolution to something like 300, then the starting frame 0, the ending frame, let's make it 200, then come to save. I like to render in PNGs. You can render in PSD files too, but I like to work in PNG. So I'll select PNG, then off the include sound, highlight or tick the alpha channel so that it will be transparent. Then you save it to your location. Okay, you name it something like clock, then you save. Okay, so after finishing, you just have to click on render icon beside the settings here, render settings here. So you click on the render icon, then it starts rendering your work for you. Simple. Alright. So guys, this comes to the end of our second series. Alright. I hope you stick with me till the end of all this. And if anyone has any questions, you can ask me, so that I'll see how best I can explain it for you to understand. Okay. Thank you guys.